The Sound Lab, 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 the Sound Lab. Experimenting with the best new music.
So, Robbie from Black Star Riders, how are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Yeah, good. So
good,
you're here, day one of your UK tour.
Yep.
Looking forward to it.
Very much so. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, it's just like the planning stages and the writing and recording and everything, and then you get to finally be in the situation where you're actually doing the thing that we love to do, which is play, and be with the gear and the crew and getting prepped for the shows and getting out to the shows and like today was such a great day. We were all we went to in store earlier. And it's been good, man. It's been really cool.
Good.
Yeah, definitely.
Good. Couple of months on the road across the UK and Europe.
How exciting.
Any key dates that you could really just cannot wait for?
Every one of them. I mean, seriously, we would look at everyone. Oh, I can't wait to go there. Oh, I can't wait to go there. We love the UK. We love Europe. We love England. We love everywhere, But, we obviously are an English UK band, and we're happy to be here, although some of us are from America, So we're just happy to be here as a band and as a group with a new record that we're really proud of, introducing a new guitar player, in Christian Martucci, and bringing Chad on board musically for his first experience of a record with us, and that's been a cool thing, to see the band come together as one. It's tough for any band to move on from other players, but it's been pretty seamless for us, so we've been pretty lucky. Yeah.
Because I remember earlier this year speaking to Ricky and Scott and asking them about the new members joining and what for you has having a couple of new members joining Black Star Riders, what has it done to the music, especially as you've got the new release out?
Yeah, so I think with any situation, it doesn't matter, what band or who you are, changing any members in the band are key. They always say, what about the key members? I'm like, everybody's key to me. Yeah. And any changes of any formula or any camaraderie or any chemistry are going to change what the band's direction, feel, everything is like. So in 17, when Jimmy left, we were happy to bring on Chad Saliga. Chad really changed the energy for the band in a number of ways, and all of them positive. And it's no slag on Jimmy. It's just Chad's a really positive, uplifting, energetic guy. Mm-hmm. He really has a great just thing about him, the way he plays, just his personality and what he brings to the band, and he's caused a different paradigm for all of us, as a group, and the synergy within the group was really solid, with Damon and everybody in the band, and it's been amazing. And then when Damon, opted to move on and do his solo stuff, we were lucky enough, fortunate enough to be able to connect with Christian Martucci through our producer Jay Rustin, who wasn't our producer yet; he was our engineer, who had mixed our records, and so that, you never know. And to be honest with you, we had a jam with a few other musician friends of ours that we just wanted to jam with, to see how it went, and so we did that. And they were all great and cool, and we were like, okay, cool, we're in a good spot. We got some really great guys to pick from. And then, Martucci goes and sends this video in of him just playing, much like Saliga did, just them playing to the songs. And I think that's the key. They were able to be in their own element and comfortable and kind of show us who they were and what they would bring. I don't think either one of them played the songs like, I'm just going to play to the record. I think they played it in their own vein and had their own thing to it. And I think that added an immense amount, songwriting and being a part of a band, a huge percentage of, being in a situation like this. We live together and we're at the age where, you don't want to deal with somebody who you just don't want to be around.
Yeah.
So, it's been great. It's been a really, like I said earlier, just a really good paradigm shift, a really good, just great chemistry within the band, and it's been great. I mean, the record I think is important that to overemphasize. I can't overemphasize it enough. I should say how we recorded it live for the most part, and Jay did a great job of actually capturing that energy and that connection that we all had in the studio, which I think we have in the rehearsal studio too. We just got together and started playing again. It was like, oh, there it is, which is pretty nice, know. And I've been in other situations where we've had to, guys moved on and whatnot, and everyone's like, oh, it's great, and you're like, not really, But it is fortunately been very seamless for us, and we're very, very lucky.
Good.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
Good. And the fourth record is out.
Thank you. Yeah, Another State of Grace.
Tell us about the record.
How exciting! We're so excited to introduce and to debut Another State of Grace for everybody live on this tour, and to finally. I mean, we were all waiting for the day that we could release the record, so that people could hear what we, like I said before, what we felt like we created. That was just a great chemistry thing and pretty effortless record to make. For the most part, we've all made a ton of records in our careers, individually and collectively, and in working together on this record, it was really seamless. It was just kind of odd. I've expressed this so many times in interviews, how we all just walked in and we're like, hey, like, what's up? Like, we met Christian. We never really physically met him, although I'd met him once before through a friend of mine, Stefan Dika. I'd never really played with him or hung out with him, and we kind of walked into a rehearsal studio, and he's sitting there with his guitar on, and we all just put our instruments on and started playing, and away we went. And it was quite literally a week, 4 days. We just had all the record done, and we got into recording it. And it's just been an amazing experience. Like I was saying earlier, we captured it live. A lot of the drums and bass are first and second takes, and we had to go back and learn it. And I was like, huh, what did I play there? You know, you're kind of having a jam more than anything. You know what I mean? And they kind of captured it on tape, and it's cool to. I think the energy and the spirit of that is really in the record. Scott had a huge role in this record. Not to say he didn't before, but he really had a huge role in this record. And Jay and Christian really like opened the door for him to do whatever to just be Scott Gorham. And it was really cool to see and to play with and to see that energy from Scott, which is, you know, I've not seen in a long time, and it's been great, man. It's been really a great thing. So the record was amazing to make, effortlessly written, and just fun. I hope you enjoy it. I hope people really enjoy what we feel is our best record for us. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Good. And looking towards 2020, what's the plan going to be?
Well, you know, like with every touring cycle, you hope and wish, and you have a game plan. You know, we try to do a 2-year, 18 to 24 month game plan that we're looking out. You know, okay, this is what our ideal situation would be, and so we obviously do this tour here in the fall, and then into 20 we're going to go back to America. I believe we're going to do some dates in America. We never really tour America, and I'm from, and that's where I kind of cut my teeth in America. Christian as well, and Chad as well. But we're excited to take Black Star Riders to America. There is the demand there now for it, and it's nice to see because there never was, really before. Well, I mean, it's hard for new bands in America because so many, in American culture, everyone's so fickle. It's like my kids loved Taylor Swift last week, and they're like, Taylor Swift who? They're like, you know who Billie Eilish is? And you're like, whoa, and so it's like, I get it, I see it. And but it's nice that there's been a demand for Black Star Riders. So on to America, we're hoping for. Back to summer, doing all the festivals and whatnot, and then hopefully South America and Japan. So a lot of talk, and it's been good. Yeah, very good.
Good. Is there anywhere that Black Star Riders haven't performed yet that you do kind of want to make sure you go to at some point on this tour?
Yeah, I would love to go to the Middle East. I mean, a lot of my friends have been to Israel and played, and with Black Star Riders last year, especially on the Heavy Fire tour, we were lucky enough to go to. We did America with Judas Priest. We did about 40 dates with them last year.
Nice.
We did the UK and Europe and stuff like that. We went out with Foreigner in Europe last year, and then we did South America with Judas Priest and Alice in Chains, which was awesome. Stadiums and great venues, and so we went to Japan the year prior to that, and so we've been very fortunate to kind of touch on all the bases. I would love to hit the Asian Rim, just the Pacific Rim up in there, up in Korea and stuff like that, and I would love to go back down to Australia, and Canada. I love Canada, and I think this band really can connect with a lot of different crowds, and I just think that we have a lot to offer, and I think if people give the music a chance, I think they'll connect to it because I think it's great. And so, but that's just me.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And I know there's a crossover with the band into Thin Lizzy as well, doing the odd gigs here and there and a couple of festivals.
Sure.
Is there going to be a couple of Thin Lizzy things going on maybe in 2020 as well, or is it a Black Star Riders year?
Well, I'm not a part of Thin Lizzy, although I support Scott and Ricky, and Scott is the guy from Thin Lizzy, and I love it when people say, I read reviews, which I'm appreciative of. They're like, very Thin Lizzy-esque, and I'm like, yeah, man, Scott was a writer in Lizzy, and Phil welcomed him in a lot of those parts, Cowboy Song, Hollywood, whatnot, and so Scott writes that way. That's just kind of how he writes. So if we sound like Lizzy, I'm excited and appreciative because it's just Scott being Scott, and that's a beautiful thing. I hope that they keep doing the Lizzy thing. I personally don't know. It's never a thing where we're all very open with each other and supportive of each other. So whenever they, hey man, we're gonna do some Lizzy dates, I always cheer them on. Oh, cool, man! I wish I could be there. They're my mates, and I love them, and our whole management team and everybody are behind it, and they know. We all understand that we can't be too possessive of each other because we all do other things, and that's what keeps us excited and fresh about this is that we're able to go out and do other stuff and experience other things. And then when the Lizzy thing comes about, I'm always like when they're talking about bass players or drummers, I'm like, oh, you should get this guy. Yeah, what about Steve Harris? You know what I mean?
Do you ever put your hand up and go, kind of me?
No. Scott's asked me definitely a few times. Oh, for sure, yeah. I'm in Black Star Riders, and I want to be in Black Star Riders, and I spent the first half of my career replacing people in other bands and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I don't have any want to do that anymore. I want to be in the band, a part of the band, and that's just for me. Those guys, they're in Thin Lizzy, so it's a different perspective for them. So for me, when they got Tom Hamilton, I was like, what? I mean, Tom's one of my favorite bass players of all time, and Troy from Mastodon, I was so excited. He did such a great job. It was awesome to see, and I just saw the videos, and obviously Marco Mendoza, the great Marco Mendoza, he's amazing, and I would love to see Marco come back and do it. I think Marco's brilliant, I just think it's cool that they're able to do it, and I think Scott Travis does a great job, and it was great to see Viv, play with them, and then Damon's playing with them now, and then Richard Ford has played with them, so I think it's a great spirit of what Ricky and Scott and Darren and our management have been doing within Lizzy, it's just great to see the spirit of Lizzy out there and include, they welcome everybody to do it with them, Brian or whoever. And I just think it's cool to see them doing what they love and getting that music out there to the people because, when are you going to see Scott Gorham? I mean, Scott's going to perform forever. I mean,
keep going.
No, listen, he's like a spring chicken, man. He's young still. And he, we were just at rehearsal and I'm watching him play and he's all in. I'm like, does this guy ever age? Like his playing is just great, and he sounds great, and he's about as invested in music as he's ever been, and it's great to see. Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah.
And I know the Black Star Riders album's only recently dropped, but are you guys still writing as well at the moment, working towards album 5, or do you kind of push it to the side, concentrate on touring?
It's kind of odd with this band. The funny thing is that we are. I mean, again, I think I told you this before we started. We recorded that record back in January, Feb of this year, and so for us, it's a 6 or 8 month old record, and we're excited about it. But you go home and you're like, you have some other ideas that you may have introduced or to others for that maybe that session that didn't make it, and you just start reworking them and you start rebuilding and moving on. And so for us, I think you're going to see one sooner than later. I'm just speculating, but I just see all of us writing already and moving on. We're musicians, what we do, you know what I mean? And we try not to rest on the laurels of what we were and what we've done. And I think it's important to always perpetuate the music. Ricky's, constantly writing, whether it's for himself, I've said this before, other artists, for Black Star Riders, for whatever. And Christian's the same. Christian's a great writer, and Scott, and Chad was amazing in the studio. So I think you're going to see a record from us sooner than later. I hope. Yep. But I can't see us sitting on this for too long. You know what I mean? It's pretty cool. We had such a great experience making the record with Jay Rustin. Good. I think Jay did such a great job of. I think I've said this 100 times. Just really putting us in a position to win and to be great and to be productive and to be creative, and recording the songs one at a time. I mean, I've never done that. I've been in situations where you kind of have been in, close to that, but we quite literally said, we're doing this song today. Yeah. We recorded the bass and the drums live. We, kept some of the guitars, did some overdubs, did some vocals, and moved on. And it was like next day we're doing another song. Mm-hmm. And it really kept everyone invested and focused on that one song. So I hope to do that again with Jay, and I think we all agree that Jay is the guy for us, and it's awesome. I wasn't sure at first. And it's not on Jay. I'm very, well, wait a minute. I like 2 cubes of sugar in my, in my tea, and then but try it with 1. What? So I was excited, and I'm very thankful that things worked out the way they did because it's great. I mean, for us, it's been great. Good. So yeah, definitely, hopefully, a record soon.
Excellent. Well, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Cheers.
Absolutely, cheers. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much.
Absolutely.
The Sound Lab. 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 Experimenting with the best new music.